Hello, my name is Kishelle, and I'm here to introduce the Environmental Fairy Tale series from LEVERAM. This Environmental Fairy Tale series has 10 books within the series to explain different environmental issues going on in our world. What I really like about these books, before we even open them, is how durable they are. When talking about conservation or talking about saving the planet, I think it's really important to think about the durability of the storybooks that we have. Because these books are so durable, you can keep them for a very long time and pass them down to different students or different children within your family. Another great story from this series is about bees. I think this is something that all kids need to learn because bees are very important for the survival of our planet. Again, we see at the top corner what we're going to learn about here, but also too, we get a bit of a fairy tale. So not just about something serious, we can also have a bit of a good time with this story. So again, if I don't speak Korean as a native language, I can definitely learn new vocabulary based on the cover art. Here we can see the honeycombs, we can see the queen bee, and then also too the coloring that signifies perhaps how do I say bee in Korean. What I also too love about the story, again, we can see the calendar, but how this particular story pertains to which month. So if you are a teacher, this is something that could be really great, that every month you can introduce a new book in your classroom and correspond it to your lessons and your themes for that month. What I also love about this story is the realism and the illustrations. If you are not living in Korea, perhaps you're living in the United States or throughout Europe, perhaps you don't have an understanding of how Korea looks on a day-to-day basis. I think this picture here really does illustrate what it looks like in South Korea, from the moms to the children to the nice parks that they have all around the country. Here you can see in the picture, even if we don't speak Korean, what is happening here. The illustrations are very, very detailed, and we also see the emotion in the character. It really speaks to the remainder of the story. What I also love about the illustrations is that it continues without it being too much in your face. You can see that the concept is bees, and here on the comforter, you can see the bees are here. I think this is a very important part of the story because as the story continues, you can see that the bees are gone. As a teacher in the story, this is something that's really great to understand and explain to your students. Here, even again, if we don't understand native Korean, you can definitely understand where the story is coming from and how she responds to only seeing one bee on the blanket. Again, this continues, and we can learn different phrases based on the bolded lettering of the pages. What I also like about this story is, again, the illustrations listed in the book. You can see here now what she's thinking about and what happens. But what I also think is really great is that each book has a tip at the bottom of each of a page within the book. So here, not only do we learn about what's happening with the bees, but also why the bees are important. So not only is this a fairy tale, but students continue to learn throughout the process of this book. What I also love about these books is the back of the book, the activity portion. So as a teacher or even a parent, you can work with your student or your children to learn everything that's going on as it pertains to this theme. In this particular book, they're learning about endangered species as well as news articles. Additionally, we have fun facts that we can learn, maybe with frequent questions that kids can ask, as well as a game that they can do to further encourage them to learn about the species. The last book that I want to talk about is the recycling book. I really do like this one because, again, the illustrations are very different from the previous ones. Here it's talking about recycling, but we can also learn a new vocabulary word looking at the top corner of the book, but also too by looking at the imagery. It's very, very simple and easy to understand. Again, we're learning here from which month that you can use this book, in addition to a fun fact from the story. What I also like about this, although it's not an exact replica of what we see in Korea each day, we definitely do get to see how Koreans use their trash and how they dispose of their trash. It gives great information about our planet and how we need to take care of our planet. But also specifically, how we can reuse our trash, not just throwing it away. So with fun and interesting imagery to make the students laugh and be very interested in what they see, but they also can see that they can reuse their waste and give it to someone in need. What I also love about this book is the different types of characters that we can see. What I like about it is the diversity. Usually we only see one type of character, but here we have got different colors, different shapes, different hair colors. So it's really interesting for students, not just in Korea, not just in the United States, but anywhere in the world. Again, in the back of the book, we have interesting information for the kids to see, as well as some interesting facts that can be used in your home country or in the next. Also here, they're learning different vocabulary words that they can use, and also see that although it's in a second language, can is still pronounced can. So if you're trying to teach this to a non-native Korean speaker, it's really great to understand that some words can be very easy to pronounce and understand. So in this book series, what I really loved about it is the illustrations and the ability to learn a second language. Each individual book has something here in the corner, so you know exactly what you're going to learn, and that'll be a great way to introduce the theme as a teacher. As well, looking at the different illustrations and the bold lettering, I think is incredibly important for young learners. Here we have shiregi. Maybe we never knew that word before, but now because it's so pronounced here and here, that students can remember it every time they pick up this book. Thank you for watching. If you're interested in this book series or would like to find more details, check the description box below. Bye!